Good evening, Vernon. It's Friday evening. We've made it to the end of the seventh week. It's it seems like it's been a real struggle this week. I'm sure you all feel the same way between the weather and all that we had to do, and just the fact that it's becoming our reality. It's become a difficult situation. So let's celebrate Friday. Let's celebrate good weather coming on Saturday and Sunday. Let's celebrate that it's not April anymore in this 2020 pandemic. And let's just celebrate the fact that we're all working together. Speaking of working together, the board last night met and they voted for the budget. So all of our budget concerns, and I know that most people aren't tied into that, but many of our budget concerns have to do with the $10 million state aid cut. We made it through another year. We've been able to make the cuts, and we're losing people. People are retiring. We're not replacing them. So it's been very, very difficult. So I want to kudos to the board for all of their hard work, making sure the taxpayer was taken care of, but also making sure that your children were taken care of and the education stays the high quality that it is. And then kudos to the administration, people like Mr. Gagliostro, Mr. Rogers, and of course, Ms. Davino and Mr. Kepnes, who made the presentation last night. We are very happy to be through that process and now moving on to other things. As I told you on Wednesday night, we're starting to work on the fact of what would a reopening look like. The big news today coming out this afternoon was Governor Cuomo says that New York is closed for the rest of the year. That makes Pennsylvania and New York all around us closed. I know that Governor Murphy is going to make a decision on Monday or Tuesday afternoon. I will let you know on Wednesday night, but you'll hear it right away. My guess is, but of course this is just one person. I don't represent the district on this. My guess is he's going to follow suit with Como, and we'll be close. But we have a committee together for the reopening, whether it's in the summertime or September or whenever we're doing it. And we also are talking about what a closing would look like and how we would get everything done, including getting things out of lockers and Chromebooks and all of that. So I just want you to know that everybody's doing everything they possibly can to make sure this happens. All this work is happening behind the scenes, trust me, especially with graduation. There's a lot of discussion at the high school with the administration. They're working out all their plans, making sure that happens. We're going to talk a little bit about the yearbook in a minute and all that's going on with that as well. The kids are doing some really cool things at the high school in the graphic design program. I'll talk about what Mr. LeVar is doing with that. But tonight, what I wanted to do, because I'm feeling celebratory, I'm feeling like the weather's going to break, I'm feeling like we're going to be okay, I'm feeling like the budget's done, I'm really feeling like Vernon's on its way. We're going to celebrate the Governor Teachers of the Year. So we have 6 schools. Each one of them nominates someone to be the Governor Teacher of the Year. I'm going to do a showcase now of each of those 6 teachers. Also, we do celebrate the people who are specialists who help us, like our nurses and speech therapists and people of that nature. And I'm going to celebrate them next week. And, of course, I want to celebrate all the great things that our children are doing, including their Lego projects like this young lady on the right-hand side. So week 7 was a grind. We're here. We made it. And we're heading into week 8. And I think in week 8, we're going to find out more information about the way the rest of the year works. Lindsay McAloney is the Vernon High School Teacher of the Year. Every school needs a spark plug. Every school needs a cheerleader. And Vernon High School has theirs in Lindsay McAloney. You know her. She does all the great videos and all the things that are going on. And, of course, the great shows as well. And this is a picture of her with her wonderful children. So this is what her principal said. Dr. Anderson said of her: "This fine educator has played a significant role in improving the culture and climate of the high school during her tenure. She is truly a teacher leader whose enthusiasm enriches the lives of her students and her colleagues on a daily basis." Every school needs one. They need somebody to be in the front line and let everybody know that this is a great place to be. Lindsay wears her heart on her sleeve. Kudos to her for being a Vernon Township High School Teacher of the Year. In Glen Meadow, it is Mrs. Kepfinger. I've known Renee for years. She is a wonderful teacher. We're very lucky to have her. And this is what her principal said of her. Rosemary said this of her. Mrs. Kephart is an exceptionally skilled and dedicated professional who inspires her students to learn, demonstrates leadership and innovation, and has the respect of parents, administration, and colleagues, which is absolutely true. Well respected, hardworking. If you're looking for someone who's there late at night, working to make sure that her students are taken care of, this is your person. I'm very, very happy to say that Mrs. Kepfinger is the Glen Meadow Middle School Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Renee. Well deserved. Another hardworking individual and a joy to be around. Gerard Palastro is the Lounsbury Hollow Middle School Teacher of the Year. And Mr. Mudrick said this, that he's well respected by his colleagues and peers and students and parents, as well as by the building principal at Lounsbury Hollow School and other district administrators, including myself. Mr. Palastro continues to excel as a highly enthusiastic and motivating teacher for students with learning challenges. If you've been in Gerard's classroom, the joy of it is that it is a well-oiled machine. It is a class where students are rewarded constantly. They understand the expectations that he has. He shows them that he loves them, but he also has great expectations for them. And that's the magic. The magic in a classroom is someone who has the ability to make the child feel great about themselves, but after they have challenged them to be great themselves. And Gerard, you are that educator. So congratulations. The picture shows the joy that he brings every day. He is another person who understands the greatness that can happen in the classroom. Here is another superstar. You all know her. In Rolling Hills, Miss Scovell raises the bar for the level of student achievement in her classroom and has a unique ability of getting students motivated, engaged, and excited about learning. Her high expectations for student growth and achievement, along with her caring demeanor, are demonstrated on a consistent basis, says Dr. Stumper. Laura is an institution. She is someone who cares every day, every minute for her students. She cares every day for her school and for the teachers. She is constantly working. One of those people that's always in summertime, on vacation, anytime, making sure things get done. Laura Scovell is one of my heroes, along with some of these other folks. And great job, Laura. Well deserved. So Rolling Hills Primary School Teacher of the Year, Laura Scovell. Jess Gigagrandi is a shining star. She really is. She has been one since she got here years ago. I'm not sure exactly what year it was, Jess, but I know that I was responsible for hiring her when I was the when I was the language arts specialist. And I'm not doing credit for that. I'm just saying that this young woman has been a dynamo since she got to our district. She is an excellent, excellent teacher. So here's what Ms. Peacejack said about Jess. Jess Gigagrandi is a shining star who creates a culture of positivity and is a role model for other educators. Her professional knowledge, dedication, kindness, collaborative efforts, and ability to reach all of her students are characteristics that Ms. Gigagrandi models on a daily basis. It's very, very true. When you go into Jessica's class, it's clearly a class in which you could use as a model for what a good classroom looks like. She is an excellent, excellent statistician. She understands how important data is. She makes sure that reports get out to parents. She makes sure that children feel loved. But once again, just like many of these other teachers, she has high expectations. She makes a child feel good, but she also makes them feel good for their ability to reach for her expectations and achieve them. So she's there with her child, making sure that she gets work done at home. I told all the teachers to send us a picture of you working at home. This is one of those years, Jess, and all of our honorees. We want to do everything we possibly can to celebrate you because it doesn't seem fair that we can't talk about you at a board meeting or maybe have a luncheon over at the Lafayette House. So we have to make a big deal about this because you guys are stars. At Walnut Ridge is Miss Lombardi, a wonderful, passionate, and dedicated educator who's fully invested in perpetuating a lifelong love of learning in all of her pre-K students. You can't ask for someone who cares more for pre-K students or all the excitement that goes on in that classroom. She's clearly at home with the chaos that can happen in a pre-K classroom. She's dedicated to her parents and makes sure that she communicates with them all the time. Leslie Lombardi is the Walnut Ridge School Teacher of the Year. Well deserved, and there she is with her beautiful child. So these were our 6 folks who this year are our Teachers of the Year. So I want to congratulate all of them, and I want to say that this is the greatness that is Vernon. There are hundreds of teachers like this, and this group just represents all the greatness that we have in the district. I can go back year after year after year to talk about some of the people who have received these honors in various schools and show you greatness upon greatness upon greatness. And I think the key to all of these successful people, as I look at these pictures and look at these people, is A, they're hardworking. B, they're completely dedicated to their students and to the families that they come from. And C, and I think this is most important, is that they have important goals for their students, and they make sure that they achieve them so that they feel good about themselves. So congratulations to our 6 people. Love you. This is great. Okay, here's some big news. Kindergarten registration. We've been hearing from parents and they were concerned, so I wanted to make sure that you knew this. We met with an entire committee from my office and personnel and also the central office and IT with Matt Shea. And this was on Wednesday. And what we're doing is we're changing kindergarten registration so that it's completely online. The reason is because Walnut Ridge is shut down right now. We're all in isolation, and we don't want to risk anybody, and we certainly don't want to risk your health. So on June 1st, we will have registration online through Genesis. And I want you to know that Matt Shea or me or other people are going to be sending you information. We're going to be using all of our people, whether it's Denise Gilchrist, Robin Homestead, my personnel staff, whoever it needs to be, in order to make this registration happen for you online. We're talking about how you can take photographs of the certain documents that you need, how you can scan them to us, what we can do. Now, if that does not work for you, in other words, if there's problems when you go to do this, come June 22nd, once school is done and all the stuff about closing and whatever we're doing, once all that's done, we will have appointments where you can come to Cedar Mountain, not Walnut Ridge now, Cedar Mountain, and register, but we'll probably do it outside, and then we'll run in and make copies, etc. So we really want to do this online. So therefore, we're going to try to make sure that this happens. We already had registration before we closed on March 13th, so we know approximately how many students we have right now, but we want to encourage everyone to online register. We'll be sending you more information. Matt will be getting that out to you in announcements, and I'll make sure it's in the podcast, the next piece that we send out, so that we make sure that our kindergarten registration happens. And of course, Ms. Piszczak over in Cedar Mountain will make that happen in person if we have to. But remember, we'll all be in masks, gloves, etc. on June 22nd. So June 1st, you can do the registration. We'll get you more information. It's only May 1st, but we'll get you the information. But we wanted you to know that there is a date, and this is how it's going to work. Okay, this is fabulous. So I heard from wrestling moms, not moms who wrestle, but the moms who are moms of our wrestlers. And they want us to make a statement. And this would be a great banner in front of the high school or Glen Meadow. It says, please stay at home so our wrestling moms can start yelling, "That's 2" again. And of course, if you know anything about wrestling, and I don't, but I was lucky enough to go to the first female wrestling match at Vernon High School with my wife, who went crazy rooting for you gals. That's two is when a mom yells to an official to make sure that they say that that's a takedown. So it's a big wrestling term. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I love you guys and I love what they did here. So stay at home so that the wrestling moms can start yelling. That's two again very soon. So wrestling family, I give you the old V, the Vernon V. You guys are awesome. Way to go. All right, let's take a look at some of the pictures that the kids have done. Here's Samantha Arnott. She's doing her pizza project. We were talking about pizza projects on Wednesday night. This is a great picture of her getting it all together. It looks like she's doing a nice square sort of grandma pie. I love that. And of course, this is Rebecca Brushoff, and this is her Earth Day project. And looks like she's quite an artist. So these are two wonderful young ladies. If you ever get to meet them, give them a high five because these kids are great. So Rebecca and Samantha, way to knock it out of the park. Okay, now on Wednesday, I talked about Julia's chicken coop, and I got an update. Julia was just standing on the platform, it seemed like, but the chicken coop is a major construction job. So good job, Julia. Good job, Mom and Dad. I know that you're knocking that thing out. But I do have a question for you. Will there be a ladder for the chickens, or how are they getting up there? So look, this is what's going on in Vernon, and this is the great things that are going on in Vernon. Look at this. Look at Ryland. He's out with Mom and Dad, and they're out for a hike. Folks, we have to get outside, even in the cloudy weather. And you'll notice in both pictures, there's no sun. But we need to get out. We need to be with our kids. We need to make sure that everybody can run around or bang nails in a chicken house or whatever has to be done. But I will say this. These pictures, and more importantly, the things that we build and make, are memorials to this historic period in our life. So to my parents, save this stuff. Save it. It will mean something 10 years from now. In the same way that every national crisis that we have had, there is mementos that we go, oh my God, that was when that happened. That was when that happened. This is a major thing. So the chicken coops, the pictures of the walks, everything that we can save, including things like these puppets, save them if you can. Because they are memorials to a time where we were locked in together. The Kiefer twins. I hope you're thanking Mom because, good Lord, that is some project there. I know that there's glue and scraps everywhere. I see the garbage can in the background, and even that looks neat. Mom, I know you're doing cleanup, or Dad, I know you're doing cleanup, but great job. We're creating these wonderful creative ideas. And again, motor skills. And again, creation, and again, moving away from a traditional education because we're at home. All of this is important to document and to talk about because this is what's happening to us. This is Mrs. Wallach's class, Mrs. Wallach in Rolling Hills, and you know Mrs. Wallach couldn't ask for a more dedicated professional. Mrs. Wallach has been with us for years, a product of the Vernon school system as well, and many of our great teachers are products of the Vernon school system. So Miss Wallach in class in Rolling Hills, so that's the Rattay family, Gabe and Michael, and they're making Earth Day cookies. So they look delicious. I'm sort of like jealous that I didn't have an Earth Day cookie. And then Layla Elman is showing off how she uses fractions in everyday life by splitting her tangerine. Layla, I love this picture. This is my favorite picture of the week. You look like a wonderful, happy young lady who is doing something at home. And I love your shirt as well. Listen to your heart. Here's another project. This is Jason, and it came out of Miss Wallach's class as well. He created a landslide. So made a big pile of dirt with Dad. Thank you, Dad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They poured water on top of the pile of dirt, and the water made a hole in the top, and all the water and mud went down to the bottom of the pile. Dad, outstanding job. I know that everybody wants to talk about Jason and his wonderful project. Jason, I'm very proud of you, but I'm just as proud of your dad. Way to go, dads. This is what we're supposed to be doing in this crazy time. So, well done. Now, Mr. Labar has some really talented people in graphic design, and they are working on Instagram inspirations and then putting them out there. So I wanted you to be aware, and this is sort of a montage, so it doesn't really help you like clicking on this, but you can go and find these Instagram sites. So I'm going to show you a bunch of them. You got Compassion, Let's Give Thanks to, Vernon Pastimes, Building Relationships, doing, hashtag doing my part, hashtag we are VTHS, hashtag pet love. And this is what happens. She published it. I think this is this Aaliyah? Yeah, this is Aaliyah. COVID Compassion. She published it. And of course, these are the likes and people saying, oh my God, they're on it. So when you take a look at all of these, and I'll show you some more, try to get on some of these. Hashtag roll Vikes, hashtag Zoom graduation, and we'll talk graduation. Yeah, hashtag build together, hashtag isolation art, hashtag we're all in this together, or hashtag stay fit. You guys are great. I mean, I understand that you would be doing this anyway, maybe in class, but the outreach and getting it out there and, allowing people to spend a couple of hours, and even if the hashtag only goes on for a week or two and a couple of people pop on, that's it. That's all it is. It's just one more example of us trying to get out there, you trying to get out there and be the best you possibly can be. So, Mr. Labar's gang, Mr. Miller's gang, bravo. The Vernon V for you guys. All right. Now, Mrs. Sparta, Mrs. Weiss, and Miss Lally have a fourth grade science classes that they do together, and they're learning about sound. So every week I try to have a little contest in our podcast, and here it is. This was by Avery Mills. So congratulations, Avery. Great job. It's Morse code. They were learning Morse code. And this is a quote by Albert Einstein. So I challenge you, my email address, cmckay1@vtsd. Somebody learn your Morse code, or somebody who has learned their Morse code in Mrs. Sparta's, Mrs. Weiss's, or Mrs. Lolly's class. Answer the question and send it to me in an email. Great job, Avery. This is terrific. Bella created, and look how young she is. Bella created a site where her other students could then go on and post more pictures and creative activities. So Bella, outstanding project this week. You are a Vernon kid. There's your V. And then, of course, pictures of students out in their driveway making the rainbow, which we love. And then, of course, Shane created catapult inside. So once again, to mom and dad, thank you very much for understanding and for allowing a catapult to be built inside. And hopefully Shane took it outside, but judging from the smile that Shane has on his face, my guess is that catapult went towards another family member. All right. Micah is at home doing his numbers on the wall. I love this picture. Second favorite picture of the week. He just looks so determined to get it right. And of course, that comes out of, I think, Cedar Mountain or the preschool. So, Micah, beautiful job. Way to continue with your numbers. And again, moms and dads who are doing all this, you are wonderful. And then Reese is at home with indoor PE. She's jumping over a pillow. I think she hopscotched before that. And I think she limbos underneath the chairs. Needless to say, to moms and dads, thank you for moving furniture. Thank you for having wonderful houses that have the ability for students to do things like Andrew's doing. Andrew created this in his makerspace, and it's actually a wheel that works on a pulley or a string. So, wow. Great job, Vernon. Great job. This morning I got this, and this is 80s Day with Advanced PE with Mr. Berge. So they're all dressed like people from the 80s. Now, kids, I'm the only one in this entire district that was alive and around your age in the 80s, I think. But this looks terrific. So I'm going to make an illusion, and I don't know if anybody's ever going to get this illusion because I said, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, anyone? So if someone wants to send me an email, cmckay1@vtsd, of why I would have said that. It has something to do with exercise. Okay. Hopefully, you'll find some fun with that. 22 beautiful slides of great work by students who care. And there is a young person in our district on his or her driveway thanking essential nurses, doctors, employees, EMT, firefighters, medical grocery staff. Yes, we in the Vernon teaching community want to thank all of those frontline people. We want to thank everyone who is involved in trying to keep our society open. I want to thank everyone who has risked everything in order to make sure that we are all safe. And we can thank them by making sure that we keep Vernon going. So, again, as I said in the last podcast, if you need someone, hire someone from Vernon. You want a pizza, get it from Vernon. We need to take care of ourselves. We take care of our own. So, congratulations to that young person who did that beautiful picture. Finally, yearbook information. Talked to LeVar today. Mr. LeVar is saying that the yearbook has to be ordered ahead of time. In other words, I don't think there'll be yearbooks that come and then you can buy them. So how do you do that? www.jostensyearbooks.com. You go in, you look for Vernon, and you pay the $90 in order to get the yearbook, and then the yearbook will be available to our seniors. If ever there was a year where seniors needed the yearbook, this is the year. So, folks, if you can put the money together, pony up the money. If you can't, maybe ask Grandma and Granda for it, but try to make sure that you get a yearbook. So that's what's happened in week 7. So a couple of things that are coming in week 8. Week 8, we're going to talk about the specialists who help us out every day, and we'll do a tribute to them. By that point, we'll know what Governor Murphy is thinking. I'll report out to you about a meeting that I had with an entire committee of 22 people, including parents, people from the Board of Ed, administrators, teachers, health professionals, etc., about what closing and, basically what opening will look like, whether it's June or September, and how we're going to close out the year. There'll also probably be some important information coming out next week about other things as well as we move forward. I know that we're dealing with a lot as we move into May with different things that could be happening with our students. Parents, please encourage your students to continue to keep working. The grades are important, but also the sense of a regular routine is important. We all need to get up. We all need to shower. We all need to make our beds. We all need to get into a routine. And that gets more and more difficult as you're dealing with older and older students. But I want you to know that that's important for us. And then this weekend, if you can get outside, please do. Enjoy yourselves and think about all the things that we're lucky to have, most particularly our health. So I wish you good health. I wish you all the best. I know that we're going to make it through this, Vernon. Have a great weekend.